Good morning, my lovely people, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world today. I was told to tell you all today that you are always going to win no matter what. You are always going to win no matter what you've been through, no matter the trauma, how much trauma, no matter how broken you feel like you may be, no matter the pain, no matter the suffering, no matter what anybody has ever done to you, you're always going to win as long as you're on the side of Christ. God will put you back together. God will mold you and put you back together and better than you was before you was broken, okay? God has done this very thing to me. He said the best is yet to come. Have you ever went through a storm and then looked back and then realized it wasn't as bad as you thought it was? While you was in the midst of that storm, it felt really bad and really horrible, probably scary, and all types of things probably was running through your mind. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons for that is because the enemy sends these illusions while we're in the storm. While he knows when we're going through something, he knows when we're in a storm, so he will send these illusions to make things seem worse than what they really are. And another thing that happens is sometimes we do this to ourselves. We have all of these, we start gathering all of these what ifs. What if this happens? What if this don't happen? What if I don't get to do this? What if I don't get to do that? What if it doesn't work out? All of these what ifs that we gather in our minds whenever we're going through something that seems to be worse than what it really is. Don't you know that all things are working together for your good, whether those what ifs come to pass or not? Everything that we gather up in our head, it doesn't even matter. It's always going to work out for our good. The things that we didn't get, the things that we do get, I always thank the Lord for the things that he didn't allow me to have, because apparently I didn't need that and I wasn't ready. And then when I passed a certain point in my life, I look back and realize I didn't need that. That's not something that would have been good for me. So that's another way that God protects us. And one of the main things that we can do is stop caring so much about what other people think about us. We have to stop caring so much about what other people think about us. When we do that, we are hindering ourselves. It clouds your judgment, and it causes disobedience towards God when we are thinking and too worried about what other people are going to say about us. They're just people. They're just people just like me and you. They're people who are fighting this battle, this war, just like me and you. They're just people. We have to obey Christ. And no matter what it looks like, no matter the circumstances, if you have God on your team, you're on the winning team. It doesn't matter what's going on. And have you ever looked at your situation and you seen God all up and through that situation? That's what he does all the time. He's always there. He never leaves us. So anything that we go through is to push us forward and to help us to grow. And we're going to be helping other people once we get to a certain level in our lives. You will always come up on top. Always. Look at how many times God has showed up for you. Look at how many times God has pulled you out of a situation or pushed you forward within a situation. He knew what he was doing. He knows us better than we know ourselves. He knew that certain things was going to get us to get up and make some moves whenever we didn't want to, or we didn't feel like we should do a certain thing. God knows us but way better than we know ourselves. And I'm smiling because he's done that to me so many times. I was like, Lord, you knew I was going to do this, didn't you, whenever this happened? And I thought it was fascinating how he put certain things together for me. For me. He know what it takes to put fire up under me personally. Things that I didn't even know would get me to moving, but he did. You are on the winning side. And a lot of us seem to forget that sometimes because of what things seem to look like in the moment, and because of our inability to get out of our own way a lot of the times and to let God drive this thing instead of us trying to drive when we don't even know where we're going. The majority of the time we have to follow Christ and his instructions. No matter what it looks like, you're always going to win. I don't know, it's just set up in a way that we win regardless if we should have went left but we went right, and regardless if we went right and we should have went left. God has it set up for his children to where we win in the end every single time. Remember that time that Jesus rebuked that storm and it went away? If you want to check out those scriptures, it's in Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It's in Matthew 8:23 through 27. It's in Mark 4:35 through 41. And it's in Luke 8:22 through 25 if you want to check those out. Guys, I have done this before. I have rebuked storms when I was driving home from work, and it was probably, I think it was nighttime too, or it probably was approaching nighttime, and a storm started coming and I couldn't see, and I started praying, and when I tell y'all, it cleared right up. It was just, it cleared up to the point to where it seemed like it was never there. That's how I knew it was God, and I knew that that storm needed to be rebuked. I was like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. That was amazing to me. It was like the sun just, and it didn't take but like maybe a few seconds to, I would say up to a minute, and then God cleared that storm out, y'all. It was amazing. I wish y'all would have seen it. I know that it appears a lot of times that the devil is winning a lot of these battles, but trust me, he's not. He's not, y'all. He's being used by God too as well. He's a part of the plan too. God already had this laid out way before anything ever occurred. Don't forget that. Don't forget that God created everything, both good and evil. Do not forget that. And even if you are in a waiting season right now, do not fret. Don't worry. Don't forget that God can exalt you overnight. God can exalt you and place you on a higher level overnight when it is the right time. Just have to wait on God and be patient while doing your work in the process. Don't forget that you have to put in some work too as well. Do not just expect God to move whenever he don't have anything to work with because you haven't done anything, But you guys, it is amazing right now. I feel the love of God working all through me and my family right now. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I just want to share something with you all right quick. I just wanted to let y'all know, because God reminded me of this. I want to let y'all know that I have loved y'all before I started this channel. I loved y'all before I got my first deliverance. I loved y'all before I even found Miss Williams, y'all. I remember God reminded me of that time when I was sitting in my car and I was just saying to myself, I was in fight mode. I was in fight mode that day, just like every day I was. And I told myself and I told God, I said, if I ever get out of this, I'm going to help as many people as I possibly can. I told God I don't want nobody to feel what I'm feeling right now. In that moment, I was in so much pain, and I said I do not want anybody to feel like this. And I promised God, I said, Lord, if you help me out of this, I promise you I will help your people out. This does not feel good. This is wrong. This is wrong, y'all. And he did, and I had no idea that I would end up doing it online. I thought I would be doing something else on here, but it turns out I ended up doing this. So I'm telling y'all, God knows exactly what he's doing. So do not fret, do not worry, just do your part, praise God, and yeah, everything will be fine. And I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day today. Hopefully I can be able to come back on here again today. And I love y'all. Take care. Bye.